All right, now you have T-shirts available. I guess you can get them online and here locally. Where can you get those?
Project240.com, meanrags.com. That's Keith's website. And you can also go to the Jackson's website and go to Fighters, and there'll be a link there to where you can receive them. And OTM Fight Shop here
That's
in New
here in
Mexico.
town. It's a phenomenal fight shop.
definitely.
Stitch, he actually trains here and owns it. And yeah, if you need gear, go to OTM.
Yeah, I mean, all the fight equipment that we use, we all get it from there, so it works out.
You ready to take some questions from the fans themselves?
Yeah, let's do it.
I got to tell you too, I was inundated with people responding to you, so you know
Cool.
I couldn't even begin to get all of these questions, so I just picked a select few, you know.
Okay.
So people should pay attention to the websites that I'm calling these off of, so you can go on and ask questions for the future shows. This one is from my boy Leathers97 at obsessedwithmma.com. And you know, I'll just break these down. He's got a couple of questions. Floyd Mayweather's obviously talking about getting into MMA. How do you think he'll do?
I think Floyd is an athlete. You know, he's real athletic and he's talented in boxing. I think that if he fought somebody with a good wrestling background, I wouldn't know how he would do. If he fought somebody who's willing to stand there and bang, I think you know, he would use his boxing, his angles and stuff like that. I think he'd do well.
If you weren't fighting, what would you be doing right now?
I was an assistant manager at Frito-Lay before I started fighting, and that's probably where I'd still be. So.
Okay, this one's from Narcissistic at the forum on SureDog. Do you hope the UFC opens up the 145 division, and would you want to go right back if they did?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I started my career with the UFC, which WC is the exact same thing. I mean, there's no difference. You know, same people own it, same things. It's just, I think if the WC gets more appealing within the next year, I think the UFC will bring 145 back. And just the fact that, you know, the UFC being the very first organization to be the big one, I would definitely go back.
This one's from Crossfader45 at obsessedwithmma.com. Who is your favorite fighter personally?
Dwayne Ludwig.
Dwayne Ludwig.
Yeah.
He was here a while back, and
Yeah.
he's fun to watch. Hot Rod from MMA Playground. What are your plans in the WEC? And do you think you deserve a title shot after this coming fight?
Yeah, obviously, you know, my plans in WC is to go on a tear and, you know, get the title. I believe that I'll be in the top contention. I don't know, you know, exactly where the rankings are in the WC or how it all works, but I definitely think I should be in the top one or two, you know, next to fight Uriah after this fight.
Yeah, it's not like you are just getting in. I mean, you fought 3 times in the UFC, so
Yeah.
you've got a little bit of a head up
Yeah,
on those
definitely
guys.
got to push. And fighting one of the top 10 guys, I think I should be up there.
All right, this next one comes from LHK419 at SureDog. How much of your life is totally dedicated to MMA? Like, what percentage of the day?
I'd say 80% of the day. You know, the other 20% we're playing Rock Band or eating. So, you know, it's just all day long. I mean, that's all we do.
This one's from Captain America at MMAforum.com. This is what I've always wondered, and I talked to you about this right when you got back after the Huerta fight. What was all the smiling about, and
Yeah.
what were you guys talking about, you know, in between rounds and the starting the round was a lot of talking going on, smiling. Do you always smile when you fight? Because that was the coolest thing.
Yeah, it's a thing that dates back, you know, from when I was younger. I've always been one of those people that mentally thinks about stuff, and I've always been the type of person, if you put me in a bad position, I try to smile so I don't think about it. You know, if you mentally put yourself in a bad position, like, oh man, he slammed me or he took my back, and you're thinking that you're in a bad position, well, guess what? You're going to stay stuck in that bad position because you mentally beat yourself. So, you know, I smile and think, hey, I'm all right here, you know. Okay, he's landing a couple of shots. I'm still going to keep smiling because I'm still okay. So that's pretty much what it is. I mean, and that's going to come, you know, for years to come, hopefully.
And do you remember what you guys were talking about? I guess there was a lot of talking going on.
Yeah, in between rounds, we talked about, at the beginning of the fight, he talked about how Mexican he was and how Mexican I wasn't, and he didn't know that I spoke Spanish and, you know, this and that. So in the second round, I came out and I asked him, you know, like, you think I'm Mexican now? But I asked him in Spanish, you know, just to kind of let him know, get under his skin a little bit. And, you know, we were, you know, during the fight, he was like, good shot, or if I landed a good shot, you know, good shot, whatever. But after the fight, you know, he's just kind of telling me, man, I've never, you know, hit anybody as many times as I've hit you. at full force, and they've just kept coming. He was like, "You're a true Mexican, your heart, this, that," and then we prayed together, and that was it.
That's awesome. This one's from Decine460 at SureDog. How has your life changed in Lubbock? Are you from Lubbock or Plainview is the same thing?
Yeah,
I'm not familiar.
they're like 15. It's suburbs,
So how has it changed since you became big time on the UFC? And he says there's not much excitement out here. I guess he lives there, except for Texas Tech. Do you get approached a lot in Lubbock when you go back home?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot different whenever I go back home now. At restaurants there'll be people that want to stop and have a picture, or I go bowling a lot when I'm down there, just to kind of pass time. And a lot of kids will come up, and it's cool, it's paying off, all the training and everything that's going on down here, and that I'm sacrificing being away from my family. When I go back home, my family gets to see, people approaching me, and they get a kick out of it too. So yeah, it's definitely changed a lot.
Cool. This one's from Mattman73 at obsessedwithmma.com. What is the best fight you've ever seen? Not been involved with, but you think you've ever seen?
I would say Vanderlei Silva and Chuck Liddell just recently.
The recent one, right?
Yeah, that was fun for me just because I didn't know how Vanderlei was going to react to Chuck's punches, and he was able to come back and keep firing back, and he showed that he belongs and back up here in the States, and he made a big move, big sacrifice. He moved down here and went through the big cloud and all that.
All right, this next one's from Poib at SureDog. I guess he's from El Paso, Texas. Do you know of any good training camps out there or up-and-coming fighters from that area? Are you familiar with El Paso at all?
Not at all, man. I went down there for a fight to corner one of my buddies, and they said Chance Farrar kind of went down there somewhere, but I'm not sure where that's at. And, he's a pretty good-sized name in the WEC, so I would look, maybe find his name and find out where he's training and go there.
All right, this one's from Big Dully at SureDog. How hard does Damasio Page hit?
Pretty hard. For being a little guy, he cracks really well, and there's been a couple of times that he's missed me with a couple of shots that I felt wind on, so I know that they're coming, and he hits really hard, so it's good.
All right, and we'll just end with this one. Hailbop at MMAforum.com. Do you think dropping down to 45 is going to boost your confidence? Not that you were lacking, but do you think you're just going to go in there reinvigorated because you're at your natural weight? How much of a difference is that going to make?
I think it's going to make, fighting at 55 being a little bit smaller, mentally I would go in there and I was already kind of aggravated, a little bit pissed off because I knew they were bigger than me, and I knew I was going to have to fight a little harder. At 45, I'm a hard person to stay relaxed. I'm real naturally agitated, I guess. And, maybe I'll get to relax a little more, let my hands go a little more freely, and just stay real, and not overconfidence, but, it helps knowing that the guy's right around your size, rather than having a smaller, that smaller advantage. So I think I'm definitely going to go in there a little more confident, but not overconfident, so.
Well, Leonard, hey, thanks for coming on the show. You're always one of my favorite guys here at the gym. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with WC here in Albuquerque. Why don't you promote that fight really quick again, who you're fighting?
Everybody come in, watch on the Versus channel, and me and Hiroyuki, we're going to go to war. And you guys want to see a good stand-up fight, two guys that both don't really care, about getting hit. So that's what the fans want to see, and that's what we're going to give them.
Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks, Danny.
Well, there you have it, folks. Leonard Bad Boy Garcia, definitely the WEC fighter to watch this year. Well, thanks for watching us. Check back often for new episodes posted, and we'll see you next time on Inside Team Jackson.